actually turn your back on anything that was stylized and contrived and technical or whatever. But I do feel that there's a necessity for young people to experiment and just to buzz that hair off and to upset your mum and dad and to be that little bit of radicalism and anarchy is sort of back on the menu, isn't it?
Do you think that's perhaps been missing?
I think very much so. And I mean the thing is that young people are rebelling all over the world, aren't they? And we're in this incredibly I don't know exactly, there's something atmospheric going on at the moment which is making people want to be to proclaim the personal power, isn't there? Yeah. And all of these things, of course, will come through in fashion and in hair, beauty.
Yeah. Exciting times, potentially.
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
So, favourite people that you've worked with? There's a lot of
it has to be Mr. Sassoon, because how could I not big shout to Vidal, because we there for the good grace of his hard work and his being the founding father of modern hairdressing. And the word icon really irritates me, because it gets banded around so much these days, and we're all icons now, apparently. Any old bod can be an icon that can do a nice blow dry, but that's not really the case. So I think big shout for Vidal. And the one thing about him is that he is totally all about his modernism and his philosophy. Yeah. And the greatest thing I ever heard him say was he'd say, Tim, can I borrow your scissors? And he would hold a pair of scissors and say to the most influential people, to the press, to the TV, whoever it would be, and he would say, with this pair of scissors, we can change people's lives, and that's absolutely true. And I think there's nothing more inspiring than that small, heartfelt statement from the man who did change the face of hairdressing. Yeah. So I think we're very lucky to have, had the experience of working with him. Yeah. And amazing. Yeah, I think so. Say all of us, definitely. Yeah, and from that doctrine, from that, grain of an idea, we've all developed our own look. Yeah. Which is pretty fantastic. Yeah. Talking of looks, favourite fashion moments? Oh, gosh, favourite fashion moments. I know you for being very. You turned me on to lots of different eras and moments in time that I perhaps wasn't aware of. Yes, I think it has to be. For me, I think the most modern design perhaps originated with Vivienne Westwood, and then the mantle was taken by Comme des Garçons, Yohji Yamamoto, who totally, I think, designed the shape of women and men, as did Dior in the 50s. So I think that there were sort of pivotal moments. And then, when you look at today, you have people like Hussein Chalayan, and you have this, very conceptual designers. So that's one side of it for me. But you see, I also love people like Marc Jacobs, what he does with, Louis Vuitton, and, he's all more about that, a little bit more about sort of retro glamour and, kind of gives a nod to Saint Laurent in the 70s and all of that kind of thing. So the great thing about now is that, there are so many, you can choose your look, and that there isn't the, dictatorship that there used to be. But for the minute, I love Phoebe Philo for Celine. I think they're magnificently, simplistic clothing. I love the sort of hard edge of Rick Owens. Yeah. I know that we spoke about his stuff before, and I think that his vision is totally, I think, a little maybe derivative of Con and Westwood, in its incarnation. And then I would say, without a doubt, you have people like, you know, my head's just going, I have to think for a minute. But you know, Gareth Pugh, you know, British designer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, absolutely fantastic. And the other thing that I love about fashion at the moment is how all the old fashion houses are, you know, reinventing themselves. So you know, you had, you know, Tom Ford did it with Gucci, you know, back in the day, and then it's happening more and more. So you have people like Worth, you know, are back in the news, and you know, I think that's really, you know, very exciting, and you know, how young talent can get behind the heritage of a look, you know, which is very interesting also. I think all of these things, you know, you have to learn a little bit about the history of what, you know, the work that you do. You know, if you're an architect, you learn about the history of architecture. If you're a fashion designer, you learn about the history of fashion. And, you know, I think all of these things, you know, help us to, you know, develop into being, you know, a master. I think it's one arm of what we do as stylists.
So what defines you as a creative person?
I'm hoping that I will be remembered as a person who can interpret the mood of the moment through hair. That would be my ultimate accolade.
I think that's a
Timmy
fair. Trendy. The trend.
Tim the trend.
Finally, what's just bring it back to hair? What's exciting you tool-wise at the moment?
Well, I'm extremely proud of the fact that, you know, I've been working for the last 2 years on developing a range of scissors. And you know, it's a very scary thing to do, because obviously, you know, I don't want to put something out there that's not good. So I've gone through a lot of you know, materials and shapes, and you know, come up with something that I think is really very, very a great all-rounder, but also I think that it's a tool which you know, I've put my personal expertise into, and so I think watch my space, you know, as far as that's concerned, because it's the foundation of what we do, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that they're the most important thing. And I love the, you know, the culture of the, you know, the Japanese culture of scissors and and knives and all of that. You know, so these are hand forged, and they're, you know, cobalt, and you know, they have a little bit of that sort of romance for me of you know, being handmade and hand finished.
So where can anybody find out?
Through my website, of course.
Your website. Yes, we'll put that up on screen right now. So for now, this is Tim Hartley. Big round of applause for Tim. Thanks for being here. Thanks.
Thank you.
That was fun. Thank you.